Hi, I'm Darlene Griffiths, and this is my Module 3, Technology Access and Citizenship for EDL 901. So I did my own technology audit earlier in the year to see what my teachers would say about using technology. So I asked them what their level of expertise was, and 70% said that they know how to use the technology for their classes, and 30% of those teachers said, I know the basics. So I asked them what barriers stand in the way of them using technology in their classrooms. And the largest percentage was tied. There was 30% that said, I don't like the programs the school has purchased for us to use, so that's something that I need to address. And the other 30% said, I prefer old school paper and pencil. So we need to get those that are lagging behind in using technology caught up and trained in how to use technology in their classrooms. And like I said, our teachers trained to use the technology. 50% of them said that they're at about a level 3 out of 5 as far as being trained. So we have a few that are at level 4, a couple at level 2, nobody that considers themselves a level 5, and nobody that considers themselves a level 1. So they're all kind of there in the middle. We could use a little bit of help of getting some of those lower ones into the middle or upper levels using technology. So I asked if they felt supported by the administration when it comes to technology integration in their classroom, and on a scale from 1 to 5, with 5 being the most supported, 60% of the teachers that were surveyed said that they were at a 4. So they feel that they are supported in that technology integration in their classroom. So I asked them, what do you use the technology for? And about 80% of the respondents said that they access websites that are assigned by the teacher. That's what the students do. 70% say they use the technology to play learning games. And then 60% access Google Classroom or research topics for class. So those were the highest percentages of the responses. So let's talk about student access. For my students at school, there are one-to-one laptops for students in grades K through 12. They have internet access throughout the school day. We use Google Educational Suite, so we use Google Classroom for most everything, especially since COVID. That has just been our kind of go-to thing, is what we use for inside and outside of the classroom is Google Classroom. There's also various online platforms for elementary students. They use Lexia, iStation, iXL, and Accelerated Reader, for example. Now at home, it's a little different story. We live in a rural area, so internet is spotty, if at best. We have a lot of low-income families, so not everyone even has internet at home. We have a city library that has Wi-Fi, but they have limited hours of operation, so that Wi-Fi is not always available. And we also have the problem that school laptops are sometimes unable to connect at home to the internet. And I've tried to get my IT person to work on that, but all I get is excuses, so I'm not sure where the problem truly lies. So how do we model digital citizenship? So do we ask our students to think critically about the benefits and the dangers of digital media? Are they looking at things through that critical eye, or are they just accepting them for face value? So do we ask them to access, analyze, evaluate, develop, produce, and interpret the media? Are we asking them to delve a little bit deeper than just the surface? And then, do they understand that they have responsibilities when they are using the internet and when they post things, and that we're all interconnected globally now, whereas that was not the case 30 years ago. So are they accessing this global World Wide Web in a safe, legal, and ethical manner? And we have to teach them how to do that. So how do we cultivate responsible online behavior? We have to demonstrate that ourselves. And so with our own social media posts, whether they are personal or whether they're for the school, those have to be positive. They need to be not swayed one way or another. With our online communications, whether it's through our website or whatever, we have to be careful to vet what we are reposting, what we are putting on there. When cyberbullying occurs, don't ignore it. We've got to face it head on, put a stop to it so that our students are safe online. I brought in experts to share about the legal ramifications of misusing the internet or technology, specifically sexting. I had our county attorney and the local sheriff's office come in and just talk about what happens if you do that and what kind of legal trouble can you get into. And then oftentimes we use other people's work and we don't give them the credit. So we need to correctly cite the sources that we use. And then teach our students to discern whether a site is offering the truth or whether it's offering falsehood. And they need to be able to discern that. And how do you research whether this is true or not? And here are my references. So thank you so much for listening and good evening.